Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. So I'm locked up. I'm locked up. And for the first year in prison, I am in population with everybody else. And during that time, alhamdulillah, about 34 people accepted Islam by my hand. Alhamdulillah. The last 5 people were these, we call them Odinists, big white guys with tattoos, and they're like Vikings. That's a better word for them. They're like the Vikings. And these guys, we didn't expect these guys to accept Islam. In fact, I think they came to the Jummah services just to get out of lockdown, okay? And after they came and they started talking to us, after a little bit, they were coming and asking questions, and eventually they accepted Islam. This changed the whole jail, the whole prison, because now you got these other cats who are Muslim, and they about their business, okay? Because they were already mean guys, okay? The next Jummah, they took me out of Jummah and put me in isolation. And as it's been reported, they put chains on my legs. And I stayed in isolation for 3 years. During that time, it was like this wall behind you. No window, no nothing, just lights. Truck lights, so it's on your eyes 24 hours a day, 3 years. Lights never went out. They have a hole in the middle of the floor, that's your toilet. So these letters were really good, they were motivating. Some of my students, because they took my mushaf from me, okay? And I, told my wife, and she put it online. Next thing you know, the students are writing Quran to me. Wassam, she writes all of Baqarah out, sending it to me, writing it out. Other students writing out, some of them are married, I don't want to say their names, but some of my students were doing it. My children were writing out the Quran. So then I had Quran that I'm reading from their letters. They don't know, they think it's just a letter, but it's whole surahs and stuff like that I'm benefiting from and doing my muraja'ah from those papers, and we organized them like that. The shackles were on my legs so long that the skin fell off my ankles and the front part of my leg right by the foot, till finally CARE got involved. If you're familiar with CARE, and Shibli, his team, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, the Muslims started to push them to come and see me. They came and saw me. He didn't believe what I was saying and said, it cannot be what you're saying. And then he's looking at my legs and saying, this is crazy, this guy's got bloody ankles. So he tells them, I'm coming back with a camera. And then my life changed. They tried to hide me in the prison and everything like that, try to disappear you. But he, alhamdulillah, put in some paperwork to have them bring me to court, show up with me in court. And then everybody denied, hey, I don't know who did this. The marshal said, no, it wasn't us. The jail said it was the FBI, the marshal. Nobody wanted to claim it. So they had to cut the chains off my legs before I was going. They tried to cut them off. And I guess they wanted to deny that I had chains on my legs. So they were trying to cut them off. Why they had to cut them off? The key wouldn't work anymore. So they had to go and get some big clippers to cut it, but it's the whole shackle they gotta cut. So when they cut it, the guy who's cutting it, I'm holding my leg there, the metal pops back and springs back and rips his arm, cuts him. Alhamdulillah, it cut him. Because he's a state worker, right? A federal worker. What happens when he gets cut? He has to report that. He has to go to the infirmary and fill out a report on how he got injured. SubhanAllah. And he has to go to the hospital, get a tetanus shot, because that's rusted metal. That's what we needed to prove that I had chains in my leg. Allah, the angels or the soldiers of Allah, no one knows who the soldiers of Allah are. So Allah made it easy. Allah made it real easy. Allah made it real easy. And during that time, alhamdulillah, about 34 people accepted Islam by my hand.